And we have returned. You're listening to CSC Talk Radio. This is Beth Ann. This came to me yesterday evening. It's coming from the Conservative Daily Post. I don't, I'm just going to confess, I don't repost their things, not because I don't think they're reliable, but because they have so many commercials tagged to them. It's just junk. And so people were complaining on Facebook when I shared their articles, and I need to tell them, you need to stop it because it's annoying. But they have some good articles, and I have shared some on the air before. And this is coming from Austin Lewis, and he says the IG report, are you ready for this? It reveals that the Lynch and Clinton, they lied. They lied about their tarmac meeting. It says shortly after the meeting, Mrs. Clinton was finally questioned about her part in the email scandal concerning her private email server. Now, we remember that. That case ended when the Federal Bureau investigation, led by James Comey, decided to ignore the law and recommend no charges. However, new information shows the FBI and the United States Secret Service both aided in helping the accidental tarmac meeting happening. And the information in the Inspector General's recent report busted Clinton and Lynch's lies about being simply a strange coincidence. Remember, they talked about their grandchildren. The revelation came about courtesy of the Inspector General Horowitz report. Page 203 of the report, issued last month, suggested that the meeting was neither accidental nor coincidental, as both Clintons and the AG Lynch proclaimed. Instead, the report says that the U.S. Secret Service detail assigned to Bill Clinton contacted Lynch's FBI detail to set up the 30-minute meeting while both their planes were on the tarmac in Phoenix, Arizona. Christopher Sine, an anchor for ABC News, says, and he's from Alabama, he still has not found evidence of the alleged golf game. There apparently was a golf game Mr. Clinton was going to go play. On page 209 of the IG's report, it suggests that not only was the meeting planned, but that the pair wanted to hide the fact that they were meeting in a private plane. Well, yeah. The fact that the Office of Public Affairs supervisor in charge of Lynch's detail even went out of a photographer who was outside hoping for a picture of the Attorney General and told him not only that she wouldn't be taking pictures, but that the photographer needed to get back in his car. Page 210 of the report even said that an advisor to the Attorney General Lynch suggested the meeting was not only improper, but that it would look terrible if the general population. Yeah, I think the general population didn't buy the story. I don't think even the ones that like them bought that story. It says this senior counselor tried to tell her that the meeting was not proper, but was turned back by a member of the FBI security detail. What do you think? You think we were being scammed just a little bit? The idea that they were just there, coincidental, they didn't think anything about it. I mean, wasn't planned, but they didn't want pictures taken, and they lied about what they talked about, according to the IG report. Don't you find that extremely interesting? Now, I'm not saying that our founding fathers were saints, because they most certainly were not. But the integrity and the corruptness of what's going on in this nation, and has been for several administrations, is just beyond reason. Well, there is a reason. They no longer want you to have a free republic. They keep screaming about a democracy, and a democracy is mob rule. That's why they're against the, what do they call it, I can't even think of the name. That's why they won't accept Donald Trump's win, because the Electoral College, thank you, my brain finally clicked. The Electoral College, they want to do away with that. The Electoral College keeps this nation from being run by mob rule. So the people in New York and the people in Chicago and the people in these huge cities, can't tell rural America, middle America, small America how to live, and what to do, what to think. The Electoral College was wisdom by the Founding Fathers because they knew all about a dictator and they knew all about mob rule. And a democracy is not what they chose. Benjamin Franklin came out and told Mrs. Powell it's a republic if you can keep it. And we've done a very poor job of keeping it. So we move on and we see the BuzzFeed that obtains documents from Cohen's, shredded documents, I guess. He shredded them. The documents recovered from the shredder of President Donald Trump's longtime lawyer, Michael Cohen, include handwritten notes concerning a taxi business, insurance papers, and documents that prosecutors in New York already had in hand. So how many dollars did we spend having them put those little shredded pieces of paper back together when we already had it? You know, I heard an argument between two on TV last night. It was Tucker Carlson, and I don't remember who he was interviewing, but they were going on and on and on about they're not after Russia, they're after President Donald Trump. They're going to go after him for whatever case they can get against him. They're trying to dig up any kind of dirt. And they'll probably be somewhat successful if we let them keep at it. How much money are they spending? How much of your money, my money, are they spending? I don't have any to spare, do you? But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're just going to keep going until we put a stop to it. And like I've said before, the American people are the only ones who can really put a stop to it. We're the ones who are the republic. And we need, as Tom said, to cackle louder. We need to make our voices heard and tell them, stop it. Just stop it. 202-224-3121 is the DC switchboard. That's 202-224-3121. Going back to the history as we bring this show, we're in the third segment, and then we're going to be heading right into the final segment of today's show. Did you know it's July 4th, tomorrow. So this is July 4th Eve, Declaration of Independence Eve. It's a good time. I was thinking last night, some of my family came in late last evening, and I was thinking last night of all the fun these cousins are going to go, they're going to have, and I think my sons are going to be the biggest ones, but they're going to go have a water war outside. It's going to be hot. They've got their squirt guns or their squirt cannons or whatever it is. I don't know, my water hose, my water bill's going to go up. I know it's going to go up over the weekend. They're going to have a water war. And they're going to have fun. We're going to barbecue. But are they going to remember when the fireworks go bang, what that represents? So I was thinking last night, it really is my duty. And after I read that this morning, about how that generation prepared the next generation, maybe it's time we did a better job of preparing our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren to let them know from whence they came, and that in all things in their lives they need to acknowledge God and walk in His ways and His wisdom and to rely on Him. That's difficult to do. We're going into a break. I have a few things I'm going to share before we go off the air with you, and I hope that you will have a wonderful 4th of July and that you will share with your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, the miracles of God in the past of this nation. And we will be right back.